This is Oscar Osbo, Coffee in the Morning, and I'm here with Mr. Ray Williams, the TAF, the world-renowned underwater guru, who's been just about everywhere and did just about everything underwater, and did some amazing photography. Now, we're looking at Egypt right now, right? That you have done, and you've done so many things before that. What was your last assignment?
Oh, my last above water, you mean? I was in Afghanistan for 2 years and 8 months. And again, that's another story for later on down the road, I'm sure.
All right.
But as far as this is concerned, the diving here, it's in the Red Sea. We started off from a place called Hurghada, and we traveled on a liverboat. And we went down to the Sudan, just off the coast of Sudan there. And it was actually, I was sent along with Mark Badilla, and he's an English photographer. He does a lot of TV work and a lot of work with the royal family and such people like that. And he was hired to do the photography for a magazine called Skin Diver Magazine.
Okay.
And he owed me a favor, actually. And he called me up one day and said, "What are you doing next week?" I said, "I don't know." He said, "Well, I got a job for you in the Red Sea." I'm there. So I flew from home here in Michigan to London, stayed the night in London with him and his family, and then we took off to Hurghada. And it was really interesting because a lot of the people on this boat, I'm sure you heard of a film called Schindler's List.
Right.
Yeah, starring Liam Neeson. Well, that's Mark there. But anyway, they were a film crew that worked on Schindler's List, and they were taking a break, and they came on this liverboat with us. There were about 18 people on there, you know, so it was a good time of diving. Water was crystal clear, a lot of current, saw a lot of sharks, and really enjoyed the diving there. Beautiful place.
And why were they putting water on their face before they went diving? I didn't.
Actually, he was rinsing off. That he's come out of the water, just getting the salt off.
The salt
his face.
off. Okay.
Yeah. And this, as you notice, these are like sheer drop-offs. The little islands, these little, I mean, there's no grass or anything there. They are rock, and you step off, if you want to call it a beach or the shore, you go straight down 2,000 to 3,000 feet straight down. Yeah, it's fantastic. Really interesting marine life. A lot of anemones and different type of fish like this, and you know, it's
that's Nemo.
Yeah, Nemo. Yeah, with these little clownfish, Oscar fishes in there. Like.
Yeah.
And you go near them, they dart inside, and these are actually poisonous. So other fish, you know, won't go near those fish. So they actually have a tolerance to the toxins in that
bush
animal.
Type,
yeah.
Okay.
They can live in there, but any other fish who try to get them will die.
And what, it eats it then, or what? Somehow, I mean, what does it do?
Well, it's just it's called an anemone, and there's lots of them there. You know, and that's a good sign that the water is very clean, and so they thrive there. But the little clownfish, they live inside there. They don't venture very far from that.
Okay.
So the fish that feed on other fish, you know, I mean, they know to stay away from those things. Otherwise, they'll get stung and they'll die.
But they'll die, and then what? Who eats it?
The anemone.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll just dissolve into it. And
okay. It dissolves. It's okay.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a digestive system or something in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But
so you can't touch that either.
Yeah,
then?
you can touch them.
Okay.
It's fine. I mean, you don't go around touch them, but you can put your hand in there and stuff. Some people have a slight reaction to it, but really, you know, it doesn't harm us. But other fish that don't have the tolerance for it, they're going to die.
Okay. So it's kind of like a jellyfish type?
Yeah, you could say it like that, yeah. But these little clownfish are territorial, and you'll see them dart back. There you go, there's one there, dart in and out. But the actual, I was on that liverboard for it's called a sea serpent, and we did like a week sailing and diving. So we went from northern Egypt down to the coast of Sudan, and that was before the sea pirates. So it was quite good.
Now, when you did this for what reason exactly? What was the purpose for this?
The reason for this, I was Skin Dive, like I said, Skin Diver magazine hired Mark to do still photography and write about the experience in the Red Sea.
Okay.
And I met Mark in Hawaii when I was on another filming assignment, and at that time he'd been signed up by Yorkshire Television to work on another film,
Okay.
which I was a cameraman on, and I was also a diving instructor. And what had happened, he'd come along, and I think there was, how could I say, he'd signed up to do the job, but he wasn't certified underwater
Oh, okay.
camera guy.
Okay.
He's a phenomenal camera guy, but he wasn't certified.
Certified diver, you mean?
Yeah,
or-
certified diver. So we got to Hawaii, and when I was actually the dive superintendent as well on the dive film. I asked him to, show me the sea card and stuff. And he said, "What's a sea card?" And we got a problem. It turned out he'd done 4 dives,
Okay.
and so rather than getting him fired, he asked me if I would, could I certify him? So eventually we had 3 days off because we had to acclimatize to Hawaii, and 2 of the guys were ill, and so we couldn't do any diving for 3 days, 4 days actually. And so what I did, I took him, and myself and David, who was the star of the show. We went and did some checkout dives, and he actually turned out to be an awesome diver. So
Yeah.
I certified him open water, and then as the program evolved and we travelled down to Australia and Guam, I actually certified him as an advanced diver. So by the end of it, he became an advanced diver, and he's very, very good. And he said, "One day I'm going to repay you." Sure enough, a couple of months later, I had that phone call. There he is right there. I had the phone call, and he took me over to Egypt on assignments.
But no, but what I guess what I was saying is he's taking pictures. But what about this video? Has this video ever been seen?
No. This, it's been shown in Britain, but
Okay.
this was like off the cuff. Mark uses it for promotion of his business, and but no, it's part of my billion.
Part of your many hours of footage you've taken underwater.
Okay. But it was.
That recently we saw that like it was almost like a flower that kept opening and closing. Was that because of the current?
Yeah,
or?
well, you can see it moving back and forth.
Yeah.
And these are out in the middle of the Red Sea, these little islands, and you can see it's a vertical drop straight down. We're at a depth of about 100 feet there, 100 to 130 feet, and these are called pipefish, and they're everywhere over there. But there's a strong current, and it's drift, what they call drift diving, where you jump in and there's no way you can come back to where you started because the current's too strong, so you just go down the walls.
Okay.
And
goldfish.
Yeah. And some of the fish were phenomenal, the colours. Huge sharks. I saw a few huge sharks. And dolphins, and incredible experience with the dolphins. And obviously you can see the water rushing there.
Yeah.
And, so you don't want to get caught in those spots. You get cut to pieces on the coral.
Now, as far as that coral, I was going to ask about that. The coral, it's very, very sharp, I take it.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's sharp, pretty sharp. You get cut pretty easy, so you stay away from it, and you're fine. Again, on these sort of dives, you're at the depth of about 100 foot normally, and you go, because I'm a diving instructor. I mean, Mark and I did our own thing. The dive masters will run the operation. How experienced we are, and so it was just him and I most of the time,
Okay.
And let us, because he had to get footage for his photography or films, I should say, pictures, photos, whatever. And so it was a good time.
Now is he's still doing that then?
Yes, yeah, he still does that, and he does a lot in the TV world right now. He works on a lot of English productions, and so he's quite a busy guy. He travels quite a lot, extensively.
But none of his stuff seems to make it over here to
No, he's
America?
he's sort of, his niche is in Europe,
Okay.
so that's why they don't see much of him here. He's worked with, although he has worked with one time Charlton Heston. He did some photos for him. Madonna. He's got some great stuff on Madonna, and a lot of other celebrities. The royal family. He does stuff with the royal family, Prince William, and all those.
All underwater, right?
No. Yeah. No. He's
So that's just a reef right there, or?
yeah. It's a wall. It's
A wall?
the edge of the island.
Okay.
And it looks pretty murky, but again, it's current is moving quite fast.
The color's pretty phenomenal too, as far as some of the
For
the
that
colors
depth,
down there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean usually because the colors will sort of lose color.
Blend, yeah.
The deeper you go, the less color you see. Unless you take lights, but again, we're down 120 feet right now, and these two are English people that were on the dive boat too.
How many different types of fish do they have over there?
Oh, lots and lots.
I mean, do you know the fish, or you'd have to kind of know the fish too to know what to stay away from, wouldn't you? Or?
Yeah. It's really is not a lot of stuff that can hurt you in the water. You know, I mean, you just use common sense. You don't like that thing there, the triggerfish.
Yeah.
You just shot out. That one's a little angelfish, but you just stay away. If you're not sure of anything, you stay away from it.
Yeah.
Don't touch it. Obviously, a shark. You
Yeah.
don't go chasing sharks around.
Well, you do.
Well, yeah, that's different. I'm trained.
Yeah. Because there's some footage that we probably can't show of you feeding sharks because it was part of a television show in England.
Yeah.
But you've done some stuff as far as camera work going underwater. The first one down to film this guy feeding sharks.
Oh yeah, down in the Bahamas there.
And a couple of times, I guess the sharks attacked your camera.
Yeah. Actually, one hit the camera into my face, and I ended up with a nosebleed.
Oh,
It hit me.
that's not good.
No, and then I'm thinking, oh my god, I'm in the water with all these sharks, and
Yeah.
this is a parrotfish. And so, I was filling up with blood pretty bad, and I remember clearing my mask, and then the blood go, but they didn't do anything, I'm still here. But they were more interested in eating the fish. But yeah.
So I thought the blood kind of attracted him, though. It doesn't.
Yeah, it does, but I think
They had enough blood around with the fish
with
that
the
they had.
fish that they were eating. They were more
Okay.
interested in the fish than me. Thank God. But no, I've never had a problem. I have had a problem with a shark at one time, but I was down off Australia years ago. But I'm still here.
And what about the stingrays, that kind of thing?
Yeah, stingrays. You'll see some stingrays, I'm sure, on here. Not here, but on another assignment I was on in the Caribbean, we feed the stingrays, And the thing is, a wild stingray, well, they're all wild, but stingrays that you'll see later are somewhat tame now because people feed them,
Yeah.
and they lose their fear of humans, so they're not defensive at all. I mean, you can play with them the way you want. And the only time there's been accidents, like that everybody heard about Jeff Irwin when he died.
Right.
The
crocodile hunter.
Yeah. Actually, I was going to go to work with him on a film too, but he died before we got there. What happened with him? He swam over a wild one which was covered in the mud, too close. He didn't see it, and he hit him with a tail, and the barb penetrated his heart and killed him. So that was unfortunate. But I've only ever seen two people like get injured by stingrays with barbs, and they were both accidents. You know, they were playing with them, bringing them up to the surface, and then letting them go. And one of the divers tried to swim down with him again, and he sort of impaled himself on the stingray's barb in the knee. So pretty painful for him, but it wasn't intentional.
Like I say, the whole accident that happened in his heart, that's kind of like unbelievable that it happened to hit there, right?
Oh yeah, it was, man, it was meant to be.
Huh.
You know,
it was his time.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, you know, but you know, things happen. But like I tell everybody in the water, you know, there's nothing in the water that's going to hurt you really. It's just use common sense. You know, there's certain things, snails, certain snails you shouldn't touch.
Really?
Oh yeah, they can kill you.
Snails?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they have a little barb in them, like a little harpoon, and every year people die from them, where they pick them up and put them in their pocket because they look pretty, and next thing you know, they get hit by a little barb, and it's a neurotoxin in it, so they die pretty quick.
See, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. This is a night dive on a reef now, and I think we're going to see an octopus. I thought it was a plastic bag in the water, and it's actually an octopus feeding at night. And,
but it wasn't like 4 times as big as an actual human, though. It's just a...
No, just a little one. He was like, I don't know.
Have you ever seen a huge octopus at all?
No, the biggest I've ever seen is about 2 foot.
Yeah.
And that's big now. I know for a fact that they have some big ones off Seattle, you know, sort of northwest there, in the kelp beds. I mean, they can go like 6 foot. Huge things. They're very, very powerful. Like, you know, I've handled little ones and stuff, but they can be quite. They're very, very intelligent. They're curious. They like to, you know, see what's going on and stuff like that. But again, they'll usually do their own thing. They won't bother you much. Some of the night dives like this, I mean, it's fantastic, you know, as long as you're not afraid of the dark, because a lot of different fish come out at night, and different creatures. Sharks, a lot of one time I was in a place called Vanuatu, which is down by Australia, and we'd gone on a dive at night. I was a liveaboard, and I was the first guy in the water, and I rolled over and went down, and my light didn't work, so I waited for everybody else to come down, and when the other guys come down with the lights, I was in a shoal of sharks, which is reef sharks swimming around me, you know. Oh.
Huh.
But again, you know, nothing. They were just curious, you know.
Why do you think there's so many attacks that's reported, you know, close to shore with sharks and stuff? Then, if they really don't seem to bother you when you're underneath there.
Yeah, I think, you know.
Panic or?
No, it's a lot to do with, you know, the food chain and stuff like that. A lot of sharks, they eat, as everybody knows, seals and penguins and stuff like that. And I suppose, you know, if there's a shark right there. No, it's a parrotfish.
Oh, okay.
Sleeping.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you can see it here, but when they sleep like this, their eyes are open, obviously. But there's a membrane, like a mucous membrane around it. It looks like cotton. You have a job to see it here, but he's sleeping, he's out cold, and there's a mucous membrane that comes out of him, you know, and forms a cover around him. That's his early warning system, so if anything tries to attack him at night, it breaks the membrane and he's up and gone.
Okay. Although you have a smile on there a little bit.
Yeah, I said it was a shark. It was a parrotfish.